Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Still a little tired from the trip, from the adventures, from the travels, but feeling good. That's important. And I figured we would start off the conversation about my time in Europe with the last part of my trip, and that was SPIEL Essen. SPIEL Essen is the title of it now. It's no longer just SPIEL. There's a board gaming fair that's held in Essen, Germany every October, and it's ginormous. It is supposedly the largest gaming convention in the world. It's not a convention, it's a fair. And it's big. There's no, people often want to hear is it bigger than Gen Con? Yeah, kind of, in certain ways, but Gen Con's bigger in other ways. If we're talking about dealer hall space, Essen's much bigger. It's a much, much bigger venue, right? And in fact, the messy Essen is, there's still two completely unused halls. Like, there's room for more and more and more. But if we're talking about total floor plan, Gen Con is 6 times bigger, right? Like, there's just so much more going on at Gen Con. Spiel is it's just a fair. It's just go buy games. There's nothing else going on. You go to a booth, you buy a game, you leave. There's no open gaming, there's no seminars, that's it. So I went to the fair with 32 games on my list that I wanted to try, I wanted to photograph, I wanted to buy, whatever. I would say of those, I was actually interested in about 4, but there was a bunch that I wanted to experience and talk about. That list got very quickly thrown out the window. I mean, I tried to at least go look at those games, and I did. Very few of them, actually, none of them. I didn't play any of them. I think that's true. I didn't play any of the games on the list. I didn't photograph any of the games on the list. They were all just games, and a lot of them were things that I'm very quickly going to find in America. What I discovered at Spiel was the globalness of it. There's something that happens there, and I guess it's kind of obvious because you're in Europe, that there's just a whole lot of representation from countries, but not just European countries. Like this game, Expedition 5X, is from a Chilean publisher. Chile. So, what I found was I was much more interested in finding those types of things. Things that I'll never see again. I think this is a very neat little card game. I've read the rules, I understand. I don't think that this will be the next big game or that this will find worldwide distribution. I think this is it. This is the product. And I own it. And I don't know how many people in America brought it back, but I think I'm glad that I own it. And I went looking for stuff like that. So the fair was amazing. Thursday, Friday was absolutely jam-packed, which I was told was unusual. But I think that part of that was this year was a first Essen Spiel Essen kind of divided the hall up by game types that the publisher produces. So this building, Messy Essen, is 8 different gigantic warehouse-size halls that are all connected. There's a map that you need to reference often to try to figure out how to get around this place because there's open areas, there's food vendors, there's halls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. So you're constantly like, where am I? Okay, I'm at 5, I got to get to 1. How do I do that? So what they did was, like, Portal Games, our stuff, that gamer stuff, was in hall 3, 6, I don't know. They were in a hall, right? And Thursday and Friday, those halls were jam-packed. But if you went to hall 1 or 2 or 4, wherever the family stuff was, like the German hall, we'll call it the German hall. This is really what it was. It was very open. There was lots of room. So, had everybody been spread out, I think the crowd would have been more spread out. But it seemed inflated because the people who go on Thursday and Friday are the gamers, and they're in the gamers halls, the couple of spaces that are for the gamers. If you went into the mass market hall where Pegasus and Yellow and Ravensburger and Schmidt and like just massive German publishers are, it was pretty open. There was lots of space to move about because the families show up on the weekend, and so it was a very interesting experience to feel that rush of the show in a couple of spaces, and then as you kept walking, it thinned out. So these are the games I brought back. These were on the list, most of these. I paid for most of these. Space Puzzle, we meaning Portal Games, announced that we are going to be doing worldwide English on this game. So this is Smart Flamingo is a small Polish publisher. Friends of Ignacy's, he said, why don't you let me do the worldwide English on this? They said, okay. So we're going to be doing this game next year. There'll be a new-ish Portal edition. We're updating the rules and such, and maybe some of the components. We're not sure yet. But there'll be more about this later. So I brought this back because I very much enjoyed it. I did play that game and had a good time, and I think that it is a very good fit for my local gaming group. And Tabletop Golf, Portal Games is not doing this game, but Ignacy fell in love with it at Dice Tower Con and imported a few hundred copies just for Essen. So I brought one of those imported copies back. This is an American publisher. This is a dexterity flicking game. Super fun. Haven't played it, so I don't know that it's super fun, but the dexterity game part. So everything else, all the rest of this stuff, I paid for. Paid for myself. And 3 of these games, Footprints, Bonsai, 4 of these games, because I forgot this is here, were on my list. This is Western Legends Showdown. I've heard about Western Legends, and it just wasn't for me. But this is a little 2-player wallet game, and I wanted to give it a shot. And I think this is, having read the rules, it seems very simple and very fun, and just a quick little, so cool game. Bonsai had a huge buzz. This game sold out. I got there before it sold out, picked up the promo pack and such. I think this is, I picked this up because I think this is going to be a really good game for me and the wife to play. So I'm super excited about that. Ancient Knowledge, I think it's gotten a decent amount of buzz. It's a tableau card building, engine builder kind of, but definitely on the lower complexity level. This isn't Ares Expedition or Terraforming Mars or any of that kind of stuff. This is a simpler, lighter version of those. So it's got a good amount of buzz going for it, but it's not the gamer game that but I think I will enjoy it, so I bought it. I wanted to demo this game. This one was one. Bonsai I knew I was going to buy. Footprints I was pretty sure I was going to buy. On Ancient Knowledge I was not convinced I wanted it because it felt, having looked online, it seemed a little too light for me. But the demo tables were never not packed. And when I went to try to play it, every time there was always a crowd waiting to get a demo table. And I was just like, you know what, for 40 euros, I'll throw it in my luggage. If I hate it, it'll just go to the library and we can play it. People there can play it. Footprints from Chillfox. This game I'm very excited about. And I wanted to play it, but again, they had a small little booth. And there was just, I was just like, I'm just going to buy it. Like, I think I'll like it. Again, if I don't, it'll go to the game group. But I think this is a very good fit for me. Very interesting little game. So I'm excited to share this with the world. Again, we already talked about Expedition to 5X. Just a simple little role selection card game. There's like 10 cards you're trying to get, and then the game ends. It's very quick, very easy. We'll see how it works at some point, and I'll probably do a video about it. Fruto Play, though, I knew nothing about this going in. This is from a small French publisher, called Explore 8, EXPLOR, the number 8. This is a simple little trick-taking game that is fantastic. I got to play this on Friday morning with Danielle Stranding and Ignacy and Fabienne, you don't know him. And immediately bought it. Very, very cool little trick-taking game. super excited to play this more and talk about it more. So I'll probably do a video about this on the gaming channel very quickly because I already know it. I already love it. In fact, we played it on the drive back. It was a 10-hour drive to Spiel, 10 hours back, and we played it on when we had lunch. We took it to the restaurant and played it. Other than that, Spiel is a fantastic event. Like I said, is it bigger than Gen Con? In some ways. I guess they said there was 190,000 attendance. That's not like 190,000 unique people. Essen never releases unique numbers. That's just turnstile, so how many people came through the door. If you bought 4-day badge and you went through the door all 4 days, that counts as 4 entries. So I don't want to say you could cut that 190 in 4s. That's probably not accurate, but you know, was there 80,000 people there? Yeah, probably. That's bigger than Gen Con, right? But it doesn't really matter. I think the part that matters is that this is a gaming fair. It's really just gaming. There's no cosplay booths. There's no comic book booths. Like, there are some knick-knack booths, some toy booths, but it's really just tabletop gaming booths. And it's a lot of it. Part of the reason this is so massive is a lot of it is mass market. Like, gigantic. The biggest halls were dedicated to mass market. Were dedicated to German mass market stuff. And beer. A lot of beer. There were booths that sold beer in their booths. Like, that was their shtick. Like, you can come by our board game and have a beer at our bar. Beer everywhere. Very interesting. But I had an absolute blast. It was tiring and exhausting, just like every show I've ever been to, but in the best way. And just seeing all of these multiple language country people come together was phenomenal. It was, yeah, I want to go back. I will. I don't know when, but it's totally worth the trip just to find things like small Chilean publishers, French publishers, things you've not heard of before. It was a very good show for that. Got any questions? Are you excited to see any of these games? Excited to see me talk about any of them? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is sonorous. It is an adjective meaning a deep, rich, resonant sound. The B-flat bass saxophone is the most sonorous member of the saxophone family, with the baritone saxophone coming in a close second. Sonorous, S-O-N-O-R-O-U-S. Do you like people with sonorous voices? You know how, like, the movie guy, like, why is that, like, hey, like, well, I can't do it. Why is that sonorous tone so prevalent? So popular? I don't know. Does it sound good to you? I guess that's what I was trying to say.